Thank you for staying with us here on the desk. Now, the standoff between the laboratory scientists and National Labour Commission continues unabated as their nationwide strike enters day 2. The striking scientists insist their action is legal in spite of calls by the National Labour Commission for them to call off the action. Scores of patients, including pregnant women, Thursday were left stranded and many of them begging to be attended to. Maxwell Agbagba is in the Volta region at the Volta Regional Hospital and joins us via Zoom with developments from there. Maxwell, good morning. What's the situation where you are?
Well, Mama, the situation has not changed from what we observed yesterday. When we came here sometime around 11 o'clock a.m. In fact, yesterday when we came here, the authorities still were attending to some people who had appointment. But that stopped later in the morning, and they said they were starting, their strike fully. So what happened was that for those who were coming later, they were given the opportunity to, access services here. In fact, I was in there when an internal memo came from the leadership of the local union here at the whole teaching hospital, and they were actually informing the acting chief executive officer of this facility that they are on strike starting yesterday. As it stands now, there are people here who want to access, the lab services, but they are unable to do that now. Earlier, when I came, a woman I interacted with told me that she had to resort to private laboratory services, and she wasn't really happy about that because she says it costs a lot of money to do that. So if you come here, this is the situation here. You can see this is the laboratory, and this red band here actually tells you how aggrieved the workers here are. In fact, there's a notice here which says, sorry, the laboratory is on indefinite strike. So that's what is happening. Let me speak to a woman who has been here for some time. Mommy, Patrick Frost, okay. How many hours have I here?
And on your admission, not on the lab. Not for the lab results and very strike down.
Well, she says her mother is actually on admission here at the emergency ward. And she said her mother is at the emergency ward and she came to access the laboratory service here. They said they're on strike, so they cannot really attend to her.
Authorities don't know and you have one and then one thing about Papa. And I never don't know how to super. Would you know for Bocabane? You're telling me the phone, you live there. I have no situation that met almost everyone that can understand. You could the authorities obey it. No job back.
Okay.
You can no one work for no job, no way now. Probably have to throw out a dominant from your Papa.
Okay. Well, what anyone is saying essentially is that she's appealing to the authorities here and the Confirmatory Teaching Hospital to address the concerns raised by the laboratory scientists. She says that many of them are bearing the brunt of the ongoing impasse, and she wants them to, resolve it so it can bring some kind of relief to them. Let me speak right down to the head of the hematology unit here at the whole teaching hospital. Let me find out, Marco, I want to find out from him what the situation is and what they are also doing to, help the people here. Mr. Lobodika, you're welcome to join us.
Thank you very much.
So, really, when is this going to end? Or until the Confirmatory Teaching Hospital or your mother body says you should call off the strike, you will not?
The mother body did not call the strike. It was a spontaneous reaction.
Okay.
Based on what is happening at Confirmatory. It doesn't need any of us. We are highly distracted, and we ourselves decided to take this action.
Okay, so this is in solidarity with CAF.
Yes.
Wow. So when is it going to end? Because clearly many of the people here are distressed. Many of them, the woman I just spoke to said her mother is at emergency unit and she came here to access the laboratory, service, but it looks like that is not going to happen.
Until the issues are addressed and addressed to the core.
So I want to understand, have you suspended all laboratory services here?
As you heard from the woman.
So not even emergency cases?
At the moment, no.
Wow. Well, yesterday we heard from the National Labour Commission, and the National Labour Commission is saying that you actually risk a termination of your appointment, and then possibly they could actually withhold the salaries. What do you make of that?
National Labour Commission knows the right thing to do. How come they will not be able to dictate to Conformity to do the right thing, but they want us to do what they are not also addressing?
Wow.
They know the right. The issue has gone to them in the past. This is not the first time. What have they done so far?
Final words to our viewers, many of them who are concerned about the situation here. What do you have to tell them? Any assurances for them that this will be over soon?
For us, we are here to save lives. But if our theft is not safe for us, even our future is not assured based on what is happening currently. So until we know that the medical laboratory profession is safe to practice by medical laboratory professionals, we are not backing down.
Okay. Thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you.
Okay, so you just heard from Noble Decap. He is actually the head of the hematology unit here at the whole teaching hospital. So as you can see, the red bands are visible here. If you come to the lab, this is the first thing that you see. And all these people are here waiting, hoping that they'll find some favor in the eyes of the personnel here so they can assess the laboratory services in Mamadu.
Just before we wrap up, and I hope the gentleman you spoke to from the lab is there to answer this. So we have emergency cases. When you have a patient who has come there because they have an emergency, how do they travel outside the hospital to get a laboratory test done?
So Mamadi wants to find out that if you have an emergency situation and somebody is here, how do they assess? What are the alternatives for them? Like this woman who clearly has an emergency case, what are the alternatives? Private medical laboratories?
As it stands now, the tests are not even available. So who is going to do that work? Everybody is seriously displaced, and so, like I said, it's spontaneous. Unhappy as we are that clients will need our services and we are unable to provide it. We don't have any choice. This issue must be addressed and addressed fully. That is all we want. But then, to clients being stranded, the alternative is to access the private facility.
Yeah, but a woman I spoke to earlier said it costs more to access private, laboratory service.
That is true. So the earlier the issues are addressed, the better for everyone.
Wouldn't you want to reconsider the decision? Because this is just in solidarity with your colleagues at the Conformity Teaching Hospital. Like you said, the mother body did not ask you to go on strike, but this is just in solidarity with CAF.
The solidarity is not like giving them support. It is because there is an issue on the.
Well, Maxwell Agbagba engaging a lab scientist at the Volta Regional Hospital is just the painful impact of this action where there is an emergency situation and you're wondering where that patient can get the necessary laboratory test.